Terror May again, y'all. This time I wanted to review The Final Terror. This is the Scream Factory Blu-ray release, by the way. And I know this movie goes under other titles. Some people are probably more familiar with that. This movie was done in 1983. It has Mark Metcalf, Rachel Ward, Daryl Hannah, Adrian Zmed, and Joe Pantoliano in it. And while it is a horror movie, it's not. It fits under the slasher category, but it's not really a body count movie. In fact, the opening sequence that has probably the most notable death scene in it, and a lot of people would remember that. It's kind of like a strung up bunch of can lids, and somebody kind of gets, beheaded and tore up pretty good on that. Those scenes were actually added later because the prerequisite for having a certain amount of bodies in order to make the slasher film had gone up, and they had to throw in a couple more deaths. That being said, even though there's not a high body count, this movie is pretty scary. And it's got a lot of good terror elements in it. People, a bunch of youths out camping in the woods with a couple of, I guess, chaperones. And they're on some sort of trip. They plan to do some, water, rafting, stuff like that. Wind up being preyed on by some crazy that's out in the woods living in a cabin and kind of in fear for their lives. There's some traps and stuff set. And, of course, the killer has, like, this kind of crazy costume on and stuff like that. And it's really, since it doesn't have a high body count, although it does have some inventive deaths in it, it is still, I would say, got a good creep factor to it. It's got a good, it's going to make you on the edge of your seat a little bit with the suspense and stuff like that. And it's a pretty fun watch. Now, this one, like I said, the Scream Factory release, and it's double. It's got the DVD and the Blu-ray in it. Has the additional kind of pictures there inside. Not an additional cover, but additional pictures. It's worth watching, in my opinion, because slashers, they can be pretty fun. I mean, most people like slashers if you like horror, Friday the 13th, Halloween, stuff like that. A lot of ground been covered there. And while maybe this isn't the most fresh, it still was a pretty decent watch, and watching these actors play off each other, seeing early roles by Daryl Hannah and Adrian Zmed, who some of you may remember from Grease 2, actually, playing one of the T-Birds in that, stepping in when, I guess, John Travolta's whole crew was gone. They were the new T-Birds. He's pretty fun in this role. They've got some fun stuff going on. There's light moments and stuff like that in there, and of course, they always kind of go moralistic with stuff, and, say, if in a slasher you have sex, do drugs, stuff like that, you get killed. And it, of course, kind of plays on that like others. But I do find it to be a really fun movie. And the reason I wanted to review it is because a lot of people really haven't watched it yet. It's one I guess people put off. And I posted some stuff on Twitter about it, and I actually got a lot of interest, but a lot of people said, I've always wanted to watch that and haven't. I would advise watching it just because, like I said, it may not have a high body count, which some people are after, but it's got a lot of really good moments in it, and it's all in the woods. This cleaned up Blu-ray version is pretty decent. It got some decent special features on it, of course, but aside from that, the movie itself is very enjoyable. And I would say, maybe some people would be disappointed that it doesn't have a high body count, but not everything can have a high body count. That's maybe what makes it a little more original, and I just still think it's a really fun movie. It's got some unexpected moments in it, maybe, stuff like that, and you're going to get your nudity, gore, stuff like that. So I would check it out, even if you don't buy it on Blu-ray. I know that it's on YouTube. It's been on YouTube for a while, and I'm pretty sure it's uncut, but probably be watching it kind of like old VHS rentals. It'll be blurry, a little bit perspective, stuff like that, lighting issues. However, the Blu-ray, it looks great. So I would suggest picking this one up. And that's my review. Follow me on Twitter. I post stuff like this all the time, and I do plan to put up some more reviews on my channel, so thank you to all my subscribers that have bared with me so far. I know I don't often put my face on most of my videos. I do a lot of just talking, but it's kind of because I'm holding my phone and stuff like that. But again, check out The Final Terror. Thank you.